Yeah, hello. Welcome back to the grind. Anybody new? Hello, how are you? Happy to have you here. Anyhow, we're on the BMW 2002 again. Finished building my shed out there and all that kind of stuff. I don't know what order that comes out in, but somewhere along the road. So now, this week I spent the time getting the motor, getting the peripherals on, like this is the intake manifold, the exhaust manifold, and then I've got the starter put on. Then I ran it. I like used the starter and turned it over until it got oil pressure. It took a long time to get the oil pressure up, but the oil pressure did come up, and it's got, don't know how good oil pressure, but it sure was spitting it out. So it must be good enough. And the starter works fine. I've got the flywheel. Oh yeah, I put the flywheel on. And these bolts here, I put a bit of Loctite behind them. And this is the thing that holds the automatic transmission, the torque converter on there. So, the motor's pretty well ready to go into the car. So that's as far as I figured I'd take it. Then I cleaned up. This is, I only did this twice, but it looks pretty nice now with the BMW. On the older ones, like the other motor I have in there, which is out of a 1968, it was just the straight lines here. This end here is the same, but this didn't have the BMW logo on there. So the newer ones had this logo put onto them. So anyhow, it's all together, and I also checked the compression. So looks like everything's right. So we'll stick around. You'll see everything that went right, everything that went wrong, and all the things I did twice. Then you can, you know what's right when you've done it twice, right? Okay, anyhow, see you later. Bye. Oh, there, so I thought I'd put some oil in it, but there it is down there on the floor, coming out these holes here, right there, right there, right there. Need to put studs in there, and maybe some sealant on them, eh? Oh dear, okay, well, let's get to it. Yeah, so all the studs are back in there now. They were like, they wouldn't come out of here when they came out of the head when this was being dismantled, and so I just had to work on them a bit to get them out of there. Anyhow, that's done. So I double knotted them and then screwed it in and then screwed it out, and they all just come out easy. Okay, so now I can put more oil in it. I hope. Yeah, here's one for all you keen-eyed guys and girls. This one here is supposed to go on underneath those bolts. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. So I guess I have to do a little bit of dismantling here. So when you take the head bolts out, like I'm just going to take that one and that one and that one and that one out. But you have to loosen off everything and then retorque it. So I'll loosen that one, 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 that one. And then we'll pull those four out, put that thing that this is the oiler for the, oiler for the camshaft, right? So put that back into it and start once again torquing down the bolts. Oh dear. Yeah, so I've been watching a YouTube channel called Watch Wes Work, which is www, hey? But anyway, he says, we get it right because we do it twice. There. Now, I get it right because we do it twice. Yeah, there. That's back on. And now I've put new copper washers underneath here and here. Funny that they didn't come with washers in the kit. There was one that might have been the right size. Maybe I used it in the wrong place. But I have this whole bucket full of copper washers here, direct from China. Anyhow, but there's lots of them in there. I don't have to worry about finding the right size and everything. So right size here, right size there. Then what's next? Okay, I'll tighten these down again and torque them again. You torque that one. Like, I really didn't have to loosen these two, I don't think, but I figured I might as well anyway. So I'll torque that one, 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 that one. And that should put it all back together. Okay. So the cylinder head nuts are supposed to be torqued to 54. I'll torque them up to about 45, and then I'll go back again and do 54. Do you want to watch? I think you saw this before anyhow. But hey, there's always watching to do on this YouTube channel, right? So I'll just spin these in by hand here, down close. That was a dumb thing to do, right? Oh well. There, now. I'll just snug them first. Make sure they're all about the same snugness, right? Then we'll go ahead and start torquing them. Now this is set right now to set it to 45. All of them down to 45. Now I'll put it up to 54. I'm going to stand out of the way here so I can see the light here. Here we go. Now tighten up this one here. So tighten up this one here so I don't forget, right? And this motor is funny because everything's a 10 except for what's not. And this one here is a 12. Well, not very many 12s around, but this one's a 12. Okay, that's tight. Now, I'm not going to put the valve cover back on right now because I'm going to see if I can clean it up and make it look nice. But I'll cover this over with a sheet or something so it doesn't get dust and stuff in it. Hang on. Yeah, there, I've got that mostly cleaned off pretty good. And then I did some brake clean on it. I might have to do a little bit more work right here just to clean out that little bit. Then I'll gonna paint it with black paint. Then I'll sort of cover these areas in here with after it dries, I'll cover these areas with whatever you call that, masking tape. Then I'll sand off these, and it might look all right. We'll just wait and see, especially the BMW bit there. Might look okay. Yeah, here's my paint booth for the day. I'll let that dry and then I'll give it another coat. Then I'll sand off these things so you get the shiny aluminum on that. Yeah, that's 3 coats on that. And these things here might come out all right when I sand them off. A little bit of a spot there that didn't take the paint, don't know why. But I guess we'll figure that out afterwards. And then a little bit of water got on it right there, but that'll buff out, right? I don't think I'm even going to worry about it too much. Mostly it looks pretty good. I'll see how it looks when I do the sand off these rails. It might look all right. We'll wait and see. Yeah, and so that is starting to look a little bit better. That's nicer. Like the that was so dirty. Now I'll wait and see. I'll give it a couple of days to cure. Then I'll see if I can get these bits here to come out shiny. And that will look pretty sharp if that happens. That might take a bit of work to get that done, but I'll just tape it up in the middle here and then run some sandpaper. Tape it along that edge there, right? But I have to wait until it's good and cured. That'll be a couple of days away. So anyway, we'll get back to it. See you later. Yeah, here now. Getting there, going from tedious to very tedious. Anyway, I tried sanding off the top of these things, but it always got into the in-betweens here. So I'm going to get a little paintbrush and touch up these interior areas. And but then I found that this, like, it's not going to be perfect, but it sure is pretty close to good enough, I think. This thing here, you just go along and scrape off the paint with a razor blade, and it all comes out reasonably nice. Anyhow, I'll show you when I get done or I get further along. There, that's bordering on pretty close to pretty good there. Now, I've got this little brush here, so I'm going to take and just put some paint in here, these places that I scratched up with a bit of sandpaper, and see if I can make it come back to nice shiny again, and then we'll go from there. Yeah, there's a bit of a failure, right? Anyway, I'll do a little bit more work with the whatever you call that thing, razor blade. But you see how the paint's bubbling on me? So I might have to do some sanding on that to bring it down. Maybe I sand it down. I'll let it dry, sand it down with 600, and then hit it again with 1000 or something. See if I can make that come back to life here. Anyhow, but it's getting close. I missed a little bit here. Not that it really matters because it just turned out like that. I could just sand it off and then paint it again with the black paint. Scrape off that stuff again, because that doesn't take too long to do that. Might look okay. Okay, well, we'll just see. It'll be, what did I say? We know we do it right because we do it 3 or 4 times, right? Yeah, that's close to the look I was going for here. You can see that the paint right here is a little bit marred. Same over here, a bit marred. And I have to get those numbers uncovered again. But first I'll take some 1000 grit and see if, let that harden, take some 1000 grit and see if I can get that to look a little bit better in there. And then you can see where I put on the masking tape. That's left a residue on there. Anyway, but I think I have some, after I'm done with it, I think I have some clear coat. I'll just clear coat it, make it stay. That looks really nice. From back here it looks really good. But up close you can see some flaws. But we'll fix that up. Not bad for a beginner, right? Okay, next on the agenda is the exhaust manifold. I got all the gaskets off of here. I'll just clean it. Oh, there, that fell right off. It's got this white residue in here. I don't know what that's from, but I cleaned out what I could. Then all of these sections here look good. It's got 3 bolts here, or 3 studs here that are still in good shape, and it even came with the nuts. All these here, now I did put the studs back into here all the studs were here, but some of them had come out with the head, or with the, oh, what do you call that thing, with that. And so I got them onto apart and into here again. Now next I'm going to, that's all okay. The ones that I'd put back in, I Loctited them, so you had a little bit of residue down at the bottom here from the Loctite. Clean that off a bit. And then now I'll go and clean this up. Gonna see, like, there's that, and that. That one's okay. I'll run a thread cleaner along these things and then see if I can get these. That one there is okay. Get that one drilled out, get that one drilled out, because they're for mounting that guard on there, right? Okay. Well, aluminum guard. Don't know where it is. I think I've seen it. Yeah, so those cleaned up easy. M10 1.5. This one here is broken off there. I'm going to see if I can get that drilled out. I'll drill it, then I'll heat it, and then I'll see if I can get it to turn. This one here seems to be okay. I'll see if I can get that cleaned out. I don't know what size it is, but we'll find out. I think it's just a normal 10mm bolt. Whoops. Okay, so that side, this hole here I just had to clean out, and it's so there's 20.8 millimeters of this sticking out here. Now let's just check the other side here. This one here, I drilled it out and retapped it. Well, I thought I didn't get it deep enough in there, but it is. There's 21.0 outside here. So that's good. That's in all the way. Right on. I don't think it's exactly centered 100%, but pretty darn close. That'll do. I'll clean out the other. There's another two on the other side of this. I'll clean them up. Then I'll put this onto the car. Yeah, so here's the gasket. Now I wondered which way it goes out, the fabric side or the metal side. And so they only fit one way. It won't go that way. Won't go that way. Won't go that way. Won't go that way, but it will go this way. Then they fit just nice. Okay, now this thing here goes on. I'll just clean up those. I'll clean up around that. Uh-oh, oil everywhere. Oh dear. Okay. Whoops, there I just put you down, and don't you know, oh dear. So much for filling the engine up with oil. Now, this is twice I've spilled all the oil out of it. So, we'll get the kitty litter out and put some more out there. Oh dear. Yeah, it's not kitty litter, it's that stuff there. Oil dirt, or oil, I don't know what it is. Oil something or other. But it's the real stuff for cleaning up this. Now, I haven't used any of that. I've had that around for years, hardly ever use it. And today and yesterday and the day before were the days, right? Oh well, so now I'll just be more careful about what I'm doing here. Yeah, those I'll clean up pretty nice. So, and I should do that to this also, but I'll do that later. I just used this, one of these things on the end of the drill. Works good. Okay, next. Now, what am I doing? I want to get that on, but first off I'm gonna, like, here's this vent here is where all the white stuff came from, right here. Don't know why. These two cylinders go into that, and those two cylinders go into that. So, but that's got white there, this one's don't, so this thing here was delivering something white to this cylinder. Don't know why, but I'll check and see that all those are open, because there's the air pump there, and I think it's serviceable. I'm going to take it apart and just see if it needs a new bearing. I've tried that before with a different one, but then I went and put it together backwards and it didn't work very well. This one here I might have better luck with. Yeah, so air goes through all those things and they're all interconnected. It doesn't come backwards this way. There's a one-way valve in there. I don't know if you can see that or not, but inside there's a one-way valve, so and it's only like a reed valve, and it lets air go that way, but it doesn't let anything come back. So no exhaust fumes can come back towards that air pump, which is like a good thing, hey? Anyway, now I've got to clean up that bracket for the air pump, put it on. It goes on somewhere. I think it goes on there and there, maybe. I'm not sure. Not sure which bolts it gets, but it gets a couple of bolts there and hooks on. I found the spot earlier. Yeah, sort of. Oh, here and here, that and that, and that, maybe. Maybe. We'll just see. Okay. There, that's installed. Now I have to just tighten them down. You can't get a torque wrench anywhere near any of these things, so click, right? Click. That's a 12 millimeter on there. Click. After it runs a while, I'll tighten them again, because these types of gaskets tend to squish in a bit when they get hot. We think. We don't know that for a fact. We just think. There. That's pretty good. That's on. So, exhaust manifold. Now, I really want to, I want to get this flywheel on here, but I have to, like, I've got my chain up there, and I can just chain hoist it, the motor off of here, put the flywheel on, and then put it back on the stand. And then I might have a chance to put the starter on it if the flywheel doesn't hit on the any of these things here. I'll have a chance to get the flywheel, the starter on it, and then spin it over a bunch and see if I can get some oil pressure out of it before I go too much farther. But now I have to clean up the intake gasket, intake manifold, and get that put on. I think that's sort of the next step, hey? While I'm over on this side, I think I'll take this off, fill it up with oil so I can spill it all over the place, hey? But I'll fill this with oil. The way that this works, there's a plunger in here that fits, a fairly tight fit to this outside diameter. And so it's got a one-way valve on the end of it that lets oil come through this. And it's like when it slaps against if the timing chain is loose and this thing slaps against the timing chain, then every time it slaps, it just pushes in a tiny bit of oil up into here. Eventually that fills up and creates a pressure here more than much larger, higher pressure than what the spring has, and that tightens down the timing chain really, really tight so that it's more than what the spring puts on it. So it's kind of an ingenious device. Like, it's just simple hydraulic pressure, simple hydraulic system in there. But I have to take that off and put oil into here so it's primed up right. Anyway, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. There, so I just filled that up with oil, and then this goes with that end down, the coily end up, and it's a two-handed operation to get that on there. So I'll show you once I get this on there. It already took off once on me, so I'll just turn you off and come back. Yeah, there we go, back together, and I haven't tipped it over far enough to be able to leak oil this way now. I had it tipped over too far before. It'll take a certain amount of tipping, but not all the way, right? Okay, now what's next? I'll turn it that way a bit. I don't think it'll drip oil anywhere out of this side. Yeah, there's the bracket for the air pump, and it cleaned up not bad. It's not perfect, but not bad. I might take that thing there to a little bit and see if it'll clean up a bit better. And then here's the intake manifold, and it cleaned up pretty good. There's lots of sensors on it. Like, there's a sensor there. I don't know what that does, but it's just a heat sensor, I think. This thing here, who knows what that does, right? that thing there. Who knows what that does? I guess I'll have to figure it all out. Vacuum holes here and there. And there's another sensor on it somewhere. Underneath here maybe? Yeah. Down underneath there there's another sensor right there. Wonder what that does. This is water, so that might be a temperature thing. Yeah, it's in the water jacket there, so that's likely a temperature thing of some sort. And don't know what this does. I think it's a fuel thing. I'm not sure. Anyway, I'll find out sometime. And then this is just like this hose here is just water hose, right? I'll pull that off, I think. For now, actually, they're not bad shape, that hose, so maybe I'll just leave it on there. Anyway, I'll clean that up a little bit more, and then I think this is water here too. I'm not sure, but yeah, I'm pretty sure. Then I'll get it on here. Then I can get this other water bit on here, this thing, because it shares that bolt and that gasket, right? Then that'll get that all closed in so dirt doesn't get in there and stuff like that. Then I can put the fuel pump on, which is kind of, I got a new fuel pump on it for it. So first I'll put this on here, whatever this is, the bracket for the whatever it's called. Possibly should have put that on before I put this on. Yep. Yeah, cart before the horse again, right? Oh well, we'll just find a way to do it. Yeah, okay. These connectors here. Water here. Water here. Water here. One more underneath here is that one there. Yeah, that one's water. And then there's a sensor there, and this, that must be just a manifold temperature sensor. Not really sure. Maybe it's something to do with the automatic choke. Then this is vacuum, this is vacuum, this is vacuum, and this is vacuum. I don't see any more vacuums on it. I don't think there's any underneath. Nope. See, that's that sensor there. Don't know what it does. Guess we'll find out sometime down the way. Then this is an air pot. This is part of the choke system too. Excuse me. And it runs on a vacuum. So maybe it hooks on. I don't know where it hooks on. Hooks on somewhere. Anyway, now I have to clean off these old gaskets here. And we'll... Did I show you how to cut this on? That bolt, that bolt, that bolt, and that bolt. Didn't have to remove that. Yay. Okay, now next, I'll get this covered up. Yeah, there's all the gaskets on there, and then this came in this kit too for the fuel pump thing. I'll just let it set on there for a while until I get to it. Now, the manifold goes on. Let's see how that works out. I don't know if I might have to go hunting for nuts for this thing. Oh, nuts, nuts, nuts. Right. That's pretty easy. Now, I haven't put any gasket goop on this thing because I don't think it needs it. If I have to later, I will pull it off and gasket goop it, but I don't like putting gasket goop on those kind, like on the exhaust or the intake manifold if I'm going to get away without it. Then we'll just see how it happens. Okay, now this bit here goes on. I need a bunch of lock washers here, and yeah, well, I guess this one goes right on there. Well, that's where it'll go. I'm not going to change that. That's a good hose. Okay, there, that's on. Now that's on there. Now I have to just find a whole bunch of nuts that fit it. Now I wonder, in one of these buckets maybe there's some. You never know what's in one of these buckets. Not that bucket, that's for sure. Might be some in this bucket. I'll have a look in there in a second. Maybe I put them over here. Maybe did I take them off and put them over here? I don't think I took them off. I think they're like, there's one there that likely fit. And some washers. There's washers and things. Yeah. We'll just see what I can come up with out of this pile of stuff. That's for the top of the motor, like the valve cover. No, I don't see any nuts here, but I'll look through that and see what I can find. Yeah, so their manifold is on. That was pretty simple. Next is, this is the shaft that drives the, what do you call that thing? Fuel pump, which I have a brand new one right over there. So first off, and then the gaskets. Looking around, right? Yeah. Oops. So I'll put a bit of this stuff on. You can kind of tell the way it used to be because this is where it's been going in the shaft there. I think this end here goes towards the cam, just by the wear marks on it. So I'll put it in. Put a bit of oil on this camshaft here. And that'll be good. Just see if it actually does work, right? That's a top dead center there right now. Oh, it's got compression because I have the spark plug in there. Oh yeah, there it goes. There, pull it back to the top of that center. That seems to go in and out a bit, so that's good. Now, I was able to find a lot of the nuts and bolts, thankfully. Fuel flow is this way. That hose has been rubbing on there forever, you can tell right there. That's a little bit lacking in design there. Give me a minute to find a washer here. I think I used them all up. Hang on, I'll find something that works. Yeah, there, found a washer and put that on. So now everything on here, on the top and on this side here, these are all 12mm nuts. So I kind of figure that's where they all go. So that's intake manifold on, exhaust manifold on. Huh, that's pretty good. Pretty near quitting time today. Got to go. It's Canada Day today, so I'm going to go down to the neighbors and eat hot dogs and drink beer. Hey, it's going to be okay. Bye for now. Yeah, so this thing here is bordering on pretty darn good enough. Hey, I didn't know what to do. I didn't do anything about that paint in there because that once you start chasing that, you'll never ever stop. And I did run a batch of clear coat over it, but you see the clear coat's just reacting with it a bit there. Yeah, that's disappointing. Hey, so I guess I'll be sanding again. Yeah. Dear, dear, dear. I'll wait and see how it looks after the second coat of clear. That 1K clear coat doesn't like this kind of paint. Oh well. See how it comes out after I'm done. Might have to just make it. Maybe it'll buff out. We don't know. We'll try it out. Yeah, there. That's disappointing. Hey? Oh well. Now, like I said the other day, we get it right because we do it twice or 5 times. So I guess I'll sand that down, then repaint the black. I won't bother trying to do any clear coat on anything again. And then, like I've got it down pretty good how to scrape that off without making a mess of the in-betweens. Just use the razor blade. Razor blade works good. So, anyway, there we go. What a life. Yeah, there we go. I'm right back to where I was a few days ago. So, I'll just wait till it dries tomorrow sometime, and I'll scrape back. I know how to scrape all that stuff off, so it'll make it look good. And then I won't touch it anymore because that's as good as it's going to get. I won't try putting a clear coat on it unless I use some of the actual. Well, this stuff here, it doesn't have a hardener in it, so I think that the clear coat likes to have a hardener underneath it so that it knows it's dry. Anyway, that's the way life is sometimes. Me and painting, I keep on learning, right? Oh yeah, getting ahead of you. So I've got my chain hoist here, and I just lifted the motor up off of this thing here. Like you just pull that out of there and then take it apart. Now I'll put this, all the bolts here for the flywheel. It says you're supposed to put new bolts in it, but I'm going to use these ones again. Don't see. They'll be, well, we'll find out if they're fine. Anyhow, this thing here, this is the holder for the, whoops, for the, what do you call that thing, the torque converter. I think I got the number and name right now this time. That's the holder, and that's, so you got to make sure the bolts go into those holes go here, so you can hook the torque converter on later, right? Right? That makes some sense. And this top one here, the top bolt, has got a bigger hole. Well, there's, you know, depending on where you have it setting, but I think this is on top dead center, and so that top one right there has a bigger hole for the, oh, what do you call that? To line it up right. And then you see this thing here should be, there should be a mark on the, I wonder if I got that at top dead center or not. I might not. Yeah, it should be at top dead center. There should be a hole in the, see that? There should be a hole in the, that's 25 degrees before top dead center. So if I turn it back 25 degrees, there'd be a hole right here in, yeah, in the bell housing, and that would be the timing mark right there. So maybe I'll put a bit of white paint on that just so I can see that easily later. Okay, now I'll just get these bolts on and get them torqued on and just see what I have to do next. Then I'll put it back on the engine stand, and I want to see if I can hook the starter into it. And if I can hook the starter into it, I'll turn the motor over a bunch just to build oil pressure and stuff like that. Yeah, their flywheel's on, and same as everything else around here, did it twice because I decided I'd put some Loctite on those bolts in there to hold it tight. Anyhow, that's done and torqued up to 75 foot-pounds, right? Okay, now I'm going to put this motor stand back on it and get it off to make it safe, and then I'll call it quits. Yeah, so I guess I won't put the motor stand back on it. I'll just leave it for now. Tomorrow I'll make a nice little wooden stand that I can set it on, and it'll be safe. I'll figure something out for it. But for tonight, I'm done. These things, these bolts like there, and there they hit the flywheel, which is not a good thing to happen. Yeah, there I've got the motor reasonably safe on there and reasonably level. Well, sort of. I imagine I could put more oil into it, I'm sure. Likely I can throw it down that hole right there if I want to do with a funnel. That hole right there. Anyway, I haven't decided yet what to do about that, but I know I have to put oil in it if I want to get oil pressure up. There is oil in the, I put oil in the filter, so there's that much oil in it, and then I spilt most of the rest of it on the floor in over two times. Now I've got the starter. I'll see if I can put the starter in there and just, is there going to be room around this thing? Yeah, I think there's room. I'll just see if I can put the starter in here and see if the starter will turn it over, and then hook some electricity to this and see if it, is that supposed to be a negative or a positive, I wonder? Don't know. But there should be a light, like the light should come on and then go off if it gets oil pressure. So I'll just put a test light on it, right? Okay. Hey, I got the starter here and it seems to be okay. Like, it turns. The Bendix spring isn't completely worn out, but it's not new, but it sure is, I think, serviceable. What I'll do is I'll hook some electricity. This wire here could use some help. I'll hook some electricity to it, and I think I'll just get rid of this wire for starters and just see how it responds, if it responds. I've got a battery right there. Yeah, so that's hooked on there, eh? Now here, that's hooked on there. So if I touch this to there, it might do something. We'll just see. Oh yeah. I'll put a bit of oil on that. Then I think we'll be okay. Hang on. Yeah, there I put a bit of oil on that thing there. Just on the drive. I'm pretty sure that'll turn it over. Now, that's all right. Now, in behind here, see there, that I'm going to take that little cover off there and see if it needs oil somewhere, or if it'll take oil somewhere. So I'll just do that. Yeah, that's a little grease cap, so I'll clean it out and I'll put some fresh grease in there. This thing, whoop, don't lose that. It's not like not like a snap ring. It's just there's a washer here, one washer right there, and then this thing sits in there, and that won't, when the cap is on, it won't allow it to come off. So I'll clean that stuff up and put some new grease in. Yeah, so there's three little shims there, and then this keeper that sits on top of it. So now I've cleaned out this, and I'll put some new grease around there, in there, put it back together, and be happy. Now, I've been hunting and hunting. Whoops, there, start again. I've been hunting and hunting and hunting for this dipstick, which was nowhere to be found, and I wanted to know how much, if I had enough oil in here or not. I guess I did. I poured lots of it in, because if you put that down to where it meets there, which I think is where it's supposed to go to, then it's at the full mark right on. So sometime I'll run it for a bit and then I'll change the oil and then put the prescribed amount in, whatever it says it's supposed to have, and then we'll go from there, because I'm not sure whether it's too much or not enough, and a bunch will circulate through the motor, so we'll see what happens after that too. Okay, here I am, all set to give it the test. Now I don't know if I need 3 hands for this or not, but I'll try and put you somewhere. What you want to look at is that light right there. Can you see that, or is that too much glare on the eyes? If I can't see it, you can't see it. Oh yeah, there it is. Right there. Okay, that light should go out, we hope, if we get oil pressure. Here we go. Well, nothing yet, hey? Let me just take off the cover here. I don't see any oil coming up here. Pretty sure that's the oil pressure gauge. Well, spin her up a bit more and see what happens. Oops, fell right out. Everything's turning okay. Should have had oil pressure by now. Wonder what's going on. Wonder what I did wrong. Because you know, it's something I did wrong. Poor. Let me think about it for a bit. Yeah, I guess it just took a while to get it spun up there. So here we go. Now, it did get, I spun it some more and it got oil pressure and it was coming, spitting out of here. You can hear it turn really nice and clean when it's got the oil pressure. A difference in the tone of it. Let's see how it does here. Yeah, there's oil coming out onto the finish there. Everything's getting lubed up, so I'll let it run for I'll spin it around for a little bit more. Nice and happy. That goes out right away. See what happens here. Comes on right away. Now we'll see if the fuel pump is working. Oh, hang on. Okay, I'm going to just put my finger on here and see if that's got pressure. Yeah, it's sucking. That works. Okay. And oil pressure comes on right away, so there we are. Now we'll check the oil again and see how it looks for level. Must have filled up all the galleries. Must just an awful lot of turning just to get it to fill up everything, right? Yeah, because it's down a quart now. So that's good. Well, that's makes sense. I'll let it be and I'll just well, let's have a look around here and see if we're leaking anywhere. I don't see any leaks. Okay, I'm gonna go and finish up this roof here, and that's pretty simple work. Well, I'll show it to you when I'm done. But otherwise, it looks like, yeah, that's just gasket goop in there. Looks like everything's okay. Yay. Okay, that makes me happy, hey? Good enough. Let's see if it, yeah, like lots of oil falls down and some goes to that side, more goes to this side. But everything seems to be oiling okay. And then this thing here would get tightened up. Yeah, that's tight. It gets some hydraulic pressure in there now. Yeah, that's good. Well, there we go. Now, I should check and see if it's got compression, right? Maybe I'll do that. I know it's got lots of compression. I'll just check and see that the valves are closing properly, okay? Okay, cylinder number 4. $120. Wonder what it should be. 120 is going to be fine. I'll just catch up. Cylinder number 3. $125, $130. Cylinder number 2. Yeah, you fell over. 125. I think cylinder number 1 was about 125 also. Yeah, I should have said I think cylinder number 4 was about 125. Number 1 here. And that's about 130 or 125, 130, maybe 135. We'll just be happy with that. Yeah, there. I think we have a viable motor. These clippy things that are on the on this, they're just awful. But oh well. They're the clippy things on the hand starter. Okay, I can unhook that. Unhook the ground. Whoops, don't be snapping them together. Okay, now put this battery back on charge. Good battery, this one. It might be the battery for this car. You never know. There it is. And we'll just hook up the battery charger. There, anyhow. That's all good. I'm happy there. Now the next thing is to clean up that and put that back together, and then it'll be a done deal, ready to go into the car. What will I do then? I have to bring in the, maybe I will just get it into the car. That'll get it out of my way. Wonder if anything else has to go in the car before I do that. The battery holder should go in up there somewhere. I'll figure that out. Okay, well, we're moving forward. Well, yeah, there you go. That's all done. So I got this cleaned off. That looks pretty nice when you do that. Like this used to be just the aluminum, but now down here the numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4, they're all pretty well level, so I just left them alone. I think I can count that up. But this looks pretty nice when you get that scraped off. Might do a bit more scraping right on that one there, but all you do is take a razor blade and scrape it off at the high spots. So anyway, I think that's it, and I think that's this video done. We've got oil pressure, we've got the starter works, right? And it's pretty well ready to go into the car. I don't know that there's anything else I have to do out here. If there's anything they can think of, let me know. Anyway, so now I'll close it off and we'll see you next time. I think next time might be transmission. Well, here we go. Okay, see you later. Bye for now. Okay, so there's 4. I don't know if you can see them all, but there's 4 big old herons out there. June 30th. Tomorrow is Canada Day, July 1st. And then there's a bunch of ducks out here. Saw another heron fly over, but didn't get him in my sights. Then all the roses are out in bloom. There's another heron coming in for a landing there. Makes 5 of them there now. Anyway, there's a boat out there. I hear it. Yeah, there it is right there. Don't know if you can see that or not, but there it is. Now here comes number 6 heron in. And number 7 heron right there. These guys are, this guy's gonna come right out in front here. And one right above me. And another one right there. And then these other guys are going to follow. They're all going over there. Where are they going? Going that way. Off they go. That's cool. Whole tribe of them. There you go. Well, I didn't even look, and there's even still 3 of them left over here. So I guess there had to be 10 of them altogether, maybe more. That'd be a flock of herons.